Hey guys, I'm Garrick Jones, and I got next.
SLT Nation, what it do? Welcome back to another phenomenal episode of Sports Life Talk. You got next. SLT Sports Life Talk is where life without sports is nothing but talk. But Kevin and I, we have scoured the globe, and we have reached in every nook and cranny of the country to try to find you guys some great stories of outstanding people doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And the show don't stop. Today, we bring you the big smooth out of Houston, Texas. We got Garrick Jones in the building. How you doing, Garrick?
Man, I'm good. I woke up this morning, Doc. That's all I need.
Hey, I woke up this morning. That's right. That's the blessing. As y'all can see him, he looks so crisp. Garrick said that backstage he gonna put us on to some new technology, so you might see us looking sharp like that in the near future. But if you don't know, I am the host of this show, the mouth of the South, B. Jones. I'm rocking alongside of my colleague, my co-host, my brother, the head coach, KT. Kev, you ready to rock and roll?
I am, man, but I'm just wondering, if I'm a free safety and I'm coming on a blitz, could I get past Mr. Jones? I don't think I can, so let's go.
No, it's going to be hard, man. They paid me for a reason now.
Hey, Kev, good luck.
I ain't trying to get sent home.
Good luck with that, Kev. Hey, check this out. If y'all down in H-Town, salute to you. Thank y'all for rocking with us on this channel, checking us out. Whether you came to see what Garrick, the commissioner, was talking about, or whether you just came to see what these two dudes out of Dallas, Texas with this You Got Next movement was talking about, we appreciate it. Please, on the count of three, in tradition, we want to grow the show. The mission now is 1,000 subscribers. So on the count of three, we want you to tap in and smash that subscribe button. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Now you feel good. You feel better about yourself because you just did something for us that no other person on the face of the earth could do, and that's show us some love and support. And you just got first-class tickets to all kind of great content. We promise y'all we're going to keep dropping these great shows, bringing them to you every Thursday and Sunday. So just, hey, look out, because You Got Next movement is up on us to take over. It's happening. But without further ado, I don't want no problems with this man, Kev. I've seen some shots of this guy. He looks every bit 6'5", 6'6", 310 pounds. Hey, but I'm going to tell you something, Kev. I got to get with this guy because he make it all look so good, man. I felt like I was like, man, I got to call this guy to see if I can get on the cover of GQ magazine, man. And to tell you, I went and bought me a little stogie and everything and was sitting at the house, just put it in my mouth. I was like, I got to be like my big uncle Garrick Jones. Exactly. Garrick Jones is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know anything about this man, former NFL, straight out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Played offensive tackle for over 5 years in the NFL. He played in the CFL. I mean, the dude has his hands in so many things right now. I don't think a 30-minute show is going to be able to cover how phenomenal this guy is and the movements that he's got going on. But just to tell you, you know what? Let's just unpack it. Let's just talk about it. Buckle up and let's let the show begin. Now, Garrick.
Yes, sir.
Even though you could probably put one arm out and knock Kevin down, and hold me back with the other arm.
Yeah. We can do it.
Me and Kev, we a couple of 100 miles away from you, so we can do a little bit of talking. We got to take you through the initiation, sir. Are you prepared for that? You okay? You good?
Let's do it. I'm
All
good.
Right,
man.
let's do it. All right, Kev. I'm not gonna touch it, so I'm gonna let you have it.
No. I'm kind of offended you say he's just gonna knock me down and just hold you, but okay, it's probably true. All right, Mr. Jones. To initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 hip-hop artists.
I go with Redman, number 1. Ooh. Do the OG Big Mike, number 2. I'm going Nas, 3. I'm going Pac, 4. And then I'm going Scarface.
I don't think we've ever had Scarface or Big Mike.
No, we had Scarface.
You probably ain't. It's all the Pac. the popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? No.
But no, the Big Mike, I noticed that you had the video up on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I guess he got a new CD coming out. Big Mike, man.
Yeah, finish the job, man. Yeah, I worked with Mike a number of years, man. He's a prolific lyricist. I mean, he's a deep thinker. And I mean, you know, when I was coming up, man, straight gangsterism, you know, that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? Man. So what I based mine off of was, you know, the MCs that meant the most to me, that impacted my life. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can go all day, but top 5, that's it. Yeah.
All right, so now give us your favorite sports teams.
Favorite sports teams, man. All the ones that I run. Yeah. My developmental football league, the state's developmental football league. Those are my favorites. And the reason for that is we teach these athletes financial literacy, business. We teach them about generational wealth. It's bigger than X's and O's. So that's the reason they're my favorites.
All right, so now you got to give us your favorite superhero and why.
Favorite superhero and why. Favorite superhero and why. I'd like to go with Aquaman. And the reason I say Aquaman is because he's able to function on land or at sea. And I tend to look at myself like that. I'm able to function in a lot of different capacities, a lot of different levels. Been able to be in these boardrooms, be on that football field and the block. So Aquaman.
Yeah, you know, a lot of us can't swim though. A lot of us can't swim, so that's brave going out there with Aquaman.
Man, look at here. Hey, you got to get it, man. You better learn how to swim with these sharks, man.
I was about to say, if you don't know how to swim, you're going to get eaten by these sharks, man.
Boy, quickly.
Yeah. All right, Aquaman. So since every good superhero needs their own theme music, give us your theme song. I'm
going spicy with Nas. And ASAP Ferg, them cats.
So you hip to what's going on now.
I mean, I can go all the way back, but I'd rather go with what we got now. You know what I'm saying? Because for the simple fact that, man, if you listen to the music, this cat's letting you know, man, I'm from this era, but I still can function in this new era too. So you got to be adaptable, man. I mean, change is inevitable. You know what I'm saying? If you don't adapt, you die. So
well, B. Jones, we called the safety blitz. I ran through. I got pancaked. I got knocked down. So
oh yeah. You over there on the sideline now.
He is in the family. So take it away, my man.
Now that Kevin is on the ESPN not so top 10 list, I will take it over from with that humiliation. Kevin got blindsided out here. Hey, but Garrick, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come on with us. Like I told you, we take on these shows and we already, you shout out to Coach Rusk. He sent us your name. He said, man, y'all got to interview this guy named Garrick Jones. He's doing amazing things. And we, you hear those types of things. You're like, all right, we'll check it out. And then when you start to peel back those layers and you start to seeing what this person is about and you start reading about this, like you talked about the generational equity and leaving legacies and stuff like that. I'm starting like, man, this is the real deal. Like, this is a person that I need to be linked up with. I need to ask this guy a couple of tips and pointers. And so I just think that just as a human being, man, you provide so much to the community. It is I want to salute you and give you your roses for that first and foremost, man. All right, but with that being said, let's talk a little bit about where you're from, Garrick, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing I know about Little Rock is a 1993 documentary called Banging in Little Rock, and I watched it watched it growing up, man. And we loved everything about that show coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana, man. Tell us a little bit about growing up in Little Rock in the 80s and the 90s, man.
Man, it was cool, man. It's like anywhere else, man. It's just like any other city. You got knuckleheads. You got folks that's trying to do other things. You got folks that want to excel. Unfortunately, when you put a camera on anything, it's like money. It exposes the worst of everything, and it amplifies everything too. So a lot of that was show, but at the end of the day, you had a lot of that whole gang banging, that dope, the deaths and all those different things that happen. That comes along with that. So it kind of glorified the wrong situations about the city. But I'm from North Little Rock originally. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in North Little Rock. It's like a whole nother city. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the river there, so everything's separated. You know what I'm saying? So even though it was a small town, man, we had some real significant people come out of there. I grew up, I want to say maybe not even a mile away from where Jerry Jones grew up in Rose City.
Wow.
Grew up in Meadow Park. So so like I say, it's one of those situations, man, where you got really solid, powerful people that come from my block. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking forward to being one of those people. And just doing the right things at the right times, you know, for the right reasons. So
you already one of those people. So now, did you grow up huge? Did you grow up big like you are? I mean, or did you have a growth spurt? When did you amass all of this size?
Nah, man, I've always had size, man. I always been the biggest kid in the room for myself. But I really wasn't into football until I didn't get serious about it until like the 10th grade. Realistically, 10th grade. Yeah, man, I was an art guy. I was a band guy. You know, I was a real, recluse, but at the same time, I could control a room if I needed to. One of those situations. So for me, man, creating was my deal. So started my own graphic design company with my partner, Stacy McKinney, back in the 9th grade. And we've been doing that, ever since then. But I kind of trailed off, after I played ball and had my little injuries and those types of things like that. But yeah, man, I've always been the creative type. You know what I'm saying? There's always something different about me for some reason. And it was something God gave me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know what it was at that point. But the older I got, I started saying, okay, this is something that I need to utilize. And because otherwise it's a slap in the face to the creative if I don't, utilize these talents. So that was my deal, man. Then I started figuring out, okay, my brothers, they decided that they didn't necessarily want to play ball. And those are some of the best athletes I'd ever seen in my life, and I've been around. So those guys were supposed to be the basketball players, the baseball players, and the NFL guys. But, they wanted to be in the streets a little bit, do what they do. But, they're hardworking men, man, and I look up to them. So I decided to take it to school, man. I got a lot of attention because of my size, and you can't coach size. You can't teach size. So let me go ahead and get this school paid for, man. So I just put my head down and made it happen.
Man, I could go so many different directions, but you heard of Suge Knight, right? I'm imagining you at 6'6" walking into Microsoft.
Right.
Scaring the death out of Bill Gates over their graphics design.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? But you know what's funny, Garrick? I heard a long time ago that offensive linemen were the smartest men in the NFL. Like,
you gotta be.
Sitting down having a conversation with you could tell that, like,
Absolutely.
your ability to process and to compute at a fast level is going way beyond what we typically hear when we hand the microphone to some of these modern day athletes, right? So that's super impressive. Now you chose Arkansas State, right?
Right. Yeah, I chose A-State. I was recruited all over the country, man. I was offered, by a number of schools all over the country. But at that time, my mom was sick, so I had to make a big boy decision. I found the school. I wasn't necessarily going to the Razorbacks. I wasn't really feeling them too tough. Head coach that they had there at the time, Garrick Jones and those guys were in my ear because I'm from the North. So he was like, "Hey, you need to go here." But I had to go ahead and be my own man. So I decided to go to Arkansas State because they were independent and we were playing all of the teams that recruited me and offered me. So got to go to A-State, man, and had some success, did what I needed to do out there on the field and help lay that foundation. But outside of that, man, it was an experience. I put it to you like that. I learned a lot about the politics of the game and the politics of the business. And I took that for what it was worth.
So it's a sports show, and I know it's a lot of fans out there that's curious what it was like playing at A-State and then going to the NFL and playing in the CFL. So I'll surmise your historic playing career under one question.
Okay.
Who was the nastiest person that you had to block?
Probably Warren Sapp. And hold on, probably Sapp, and I say probably Booger McFarland. Yeah.
Booger came from LSU.
I know it. That's why I say we played. We came out there to Death Valley, man. We came out there. So
So did you play against Booger at Death Valley or when he played for the Buccaneers?
Yeah. No, we played him in LSU, man, and with the Bucs too. But I played him in LSU. We came out there. So like I said, we were independent at A-State. So man, we were playing all money games. So every week it was a homecoming game for the other team for us. You know what I'm saying? For us to come in and they're gonna beat up on us and we're gonna make this money. But I mean, by the time my junior year came around, bro, it was so rough to the point to where I was like, you know what, I could do bad by myself because how they have like the name, image, and likeness situation going on right now with the legislation and all those things like that. You end up going to school year round. And, in the summertime, man, you don't have the jobs. You can't work. You can't do this. You can't do that shit. I'm hungry during the summer. I'm like, nah, this isn't it. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my life on the line. So, I had a few family instances that were going on, but at the end of the day, I saw that this was a business, and I'm like, okay, if I'm making you millions of dollars, we need something. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to forego my senior season, man. I went home and then I got a hold of some scout schedules after all the dust settled, and I chased them from Little Rock to LA, from LA back to Mobile, Alabama. It took me about 8 months to do that, and here we are.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Garrick, before we get off of your NFL playing career. I didn't know you at the time, so please forgive me, but back on my Madden 2005, I traded you, man. I packaged you into a deal. I packaged you into a deal to go get me a cornerback. I'm regretting that decision.
So I hope that corner panned out for you, Doc.
Hey, and it's funny, when I saw your name, and I was like, you know how if you Google your name, you can see your old pictures. I said, I traded this dude. I had this dude.
Got rid of him. Didn't even give me a chance. Come on, G. You gotta talk to me.
You was a 73. You was a 73 on that one.
You see that number back there, Doc? Come on, man. You traded your boy, man. You should have kept me now. I'm telling you. I'm good. I'm good for everything that go on with your team. I promise you.
I know. I made that mistake, but I won't make that mistake again, because now you a beast. Now you an unstoppable force. I love the terminology used as a force multiplier. I'll let you sum it up versus me trying to sum it up. I think you can articulate it way better than me. Tell us about some of the things you got going on right now.
Oh man, I'm currently the head of sports for Affluent Family Office. If you guys aren't familiar with what a family office is, to put that short, that's the generational wealth portion of what goes on in the world today, where we're passing down, not only money but knowledge to our families. Right? This a space that we don't come from. And when I say we, I mean everybody that's on this call. We don't come from that, right?
Yeah,
we come from working for somebody, 30, 40 years, and then may or may not have put your money in the right spot. Now you got to go to Walmart and be a greeter. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. So being exposed to those types of practices and being able to educate my people is what it's all about. And eventually having a situation where a lot of these athletes will be able to start their own family offices through what we do. So we take it from puppies to pros. And it's all about education, and it's all about, passing that down. I'm the VP of the NFLPA Houston chapter. I'm also the president of the Huddle Foundation of Houston, which is the nonprofit leg of the Houston chapter of the NFLPA, commissioner and co-founder of my own developmental football league, the state's developmental football league, where we teach these athletes financial literacy, business, entrepreneurship, branding, any and everything that they can learn in order to become owners. Because, it's one thing to play the game. Yeah. But it's a whole nother animal to own a team and own a league, all those things. And one thing I tell these guys is, no matter where you are, if you're working for somebody, your boss will never pay you enough to live next door to them. So we got to change that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, we get deep now. But it's just like you say, man, you can talk to me for hours and I never talk about an X and an O, but I can. You know what I'm saying?
We got to do that. We got to
no, I'll do it now. I can do it with the best of them. But
I got to cut my section short. So
so that's I got a lot on the table, man. We got a few things that are popping off where, we're going to teach these fans how to get into that ownership mindset because their dollar amounts matter. The two most important groups for these professional organizations are your players and your fans. And if you have neither one of those, you don't have anything but a good idea. So
wow. So
we better change the game.
Well, I'm changing course a little bit because you hit on something that means something to me, and I think the fans need this, right?
Yes,
growing up as an African American, we're taught that fire burns. We're taught that certain things about how to treat police officers. We pass down this knowledge, right? So we can survive in these streets. Hey, if you see something going on, you turn your eyes, you keep walking. You don't go over there and interact with it. We taught these things, right? But why do you think us as African Americans are afraid to teach financial literacy? Because financial literacy is more powerful than fire if you really look at how it can move our community forward. Why do you think us as a people are afraid to educate our kids when they are very young on how to multiply these dollars and how to do certain things? It's stuff that's coming to me now as a middle-aged man that I'm like, dude, if I had known that 20 years ago, I wouldn't even, we might be on the set of something right now. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think that hesitation or that reluctancy comes from in our community?
Man, generational curses, bro. Those are passed down, right? That's infused in your DNA, right? And now you are the one that sees the difference in the information that you're getting and saying, if I would have had this early on, this would have never happened, right? So now we get to be the generation that says, you know what, no more. Getting out the mud is one thing, but I don't want to stay in the mud. You know You know what I'm saying? I got it the hard way, so my kids don't have to. So now they can take what I'm giving them in this knowledge, and they can be themselves. They can be their own people, right? And then from there, they get a chance to pass that down. And it's knowledge, and it's wisdom, and it's money and inheritance. And we're in the leaving wheels, not bills, dude. You know, it's not rocket science, man. It's one of those deals where we tend to make it harder than what it really is. But those are generational curses. When we got here, it wasn't the best situation for us, but we stood in the gap and we made it work. So we're a strong people. We come from strong stock. So when we understand that and really get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing, man, like I say, the shift is coming and we're gonna change the world. And that's what it's all about.
Goodness. Kev, I'm gonna let you have it, man. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the fantasy league, because I'm a big fantasy league player. We'll talk a little bit about that in the last section of the show. So I'm gonna turn it over to Kev.
Yeah, you know, Coach just put me back in. I got my centers.
There you go. You good, let's hit it.
I came out the tent, so I came out the tent, so I'm good to go now. Yeah, I was in the tent. All right, so you mentioned family. So how do you balance your family and work?
For me, man, it's a sacrifice, right? Every movement in every family has to have a sacrificial lamb when it comes down to this thing. So for me, I may not get the opportunity to spend as much time as I want to with my family. But what I do is I make them understand and make sure that they understand the reason and rationale behind it. Just like I said earlier, you have to set your lineage up for success. Somebody has to do it. Otherwise, we're living these unfulfilled lives, right? So for me, for what I've done and what my children see, you know, what my wife sees and what everybody around me sees, is they see somebody leading from the front. They see someone who is showing them that they know exactly what the workload is for everybody in the building. And my gift to my kids is real simple. You know, the time that I may not have had the opportunity to spend with them because of whether I'm working or I'm just not there with them or whatever the deal may be, I'm going to give them that gift by the time I leave this earth to be able to give to their children, so they can explain and make it even more better. Like the stuff that I didn't get from my father and my mother, I give that to my kids, you know, and they're going to do the exact same thing with their children, except I'm going to make sure that from a financial standpoint, they don't have to grind as hard as I have. They don't have to work like that, because they'll have businesses set up. They'll have situations set up for them to where if my son say, look, Dad, I want to go to the league, it's purely because they want to prove to themselves they can, not out of financial necessity. So when it comes down to time, they're able to give their family the time that they didn't get with me. And that's my gift to them. And they understand it. You know, we talk about it all the time, you know, and they understand, okay, Daddy gonna put his head down. He's gonna make this happen because Daddy got us. And I've said that since they were young. Even before they got here, they are part of the reason why I made it to the league.
How do I follow that, B. Jones? He's just dropping gems. Once again, I've been knocked down again, but you know what? I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna keep working.
Go.
So
there you go.
So tell us more about your role as the vice president in the NFLPA.
Well, for the PA, man, it's more or less a situation of, you know, it's a brotherhood, and we just get the information out to the guys that are coming in, because, you know, you'll never be able to play football forever. You will be a former player far longer than you'll be a current player.
Ooh.
So our way that we can give them the opportunity to see the things that we're doing and include them. You know, Houston has one of the biggest populations of former players in the chapters. So what we do is we make sure that, you know, we try to, you know, reach out to those guys and any initiatives that they may have, anything that they want to try to do, you know, be it in the nonprofit space, the for-profit space. We just want to be a buffer for them and be here for them and work with them. You know, it's just kind of like with Reggie. You know, you guys interviewed Reggie first, and he said, hey, G, you probably want to get on this. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, cool. We'll do that. So, you know, we're board members together. You know, we're chapter members as well. And we click, you know, and it's one of those things where, you know, all of us are on the same team now. Even though we played for different organizations when we were active, all of us are on the same team now. And it's just trying to make sure that your brother is good.
All right. So what is the one thing that football has taught you that you use in everyday life?
Teamwork. I'd be a fool to think I'm going to do everybody's job and we go 17-0. You know, we're going to go 0-17 every year, you know, especially with the new rules and the CBA changing and all that stuff. They added a new game this year. You know, it's a money grab, but I get it. No, it's one of those deals, man. It's like, hey, teamwork, you know, everybody has to carry their weight. It's just like Chris Rock said, man, it's easy as hell to move a couch with two people, but it's hard with one person. So it's teamwork.
Hey, real quick, Coach, do you agree with the +1 game? If you was a player right now, how would that have made you feel?
From a pocketbook standpoint, it looks good, but from a developmental standpoint, nah, your youngsters don't get a chance to develop. So they need a true developmental situation, and that's what I will be proposing to them with my developmental league. So, yeah, it's a lot more money into it for the current guys, but it hurt a lot of the former guys. So somebody has to take that fall, and that's what was happening with a lot of the former guys. So it's a hard deal. Like I say, from a standpoint of being active, you will be a former player far longer than you will be an active guy. So everybody had their eyes on the prize of what was going on right now, and I think they dropped the ball on that a little bit. So
yeah.
All right. So what's the best advice somebody has given you?
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's it. It's easier to keep up than it is to catch up, So just always be on top of your game. Be ready for whatever, and never let the moment be bigger than you. That's what you always got to be ready for. It's just like today. You guys know what to expect, but me personally, I do this every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to people, just kind of breaking things down, explaining, leading, all those different things, and that's something that I had to embrace because I used to run from it for a long time. But I had to start embracing it because, like I said, it's something God gave me. So just always be ready, man. You're going to get the call one day. So you got to be ready for it.
The big smooth dropping dimes, man.
I get you together now.
Yeah.
Speaking of being ready, B. Jones, are you ready for championship rounds?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You've been the Rudy of this podcast, so
no, man. I've been getting trucked the whole time.
We just want you to get in for the last play, Cam. All right. All right,
here we go.
So Garrick, we play a game, Kevin and I, we challenge each other. You know what the championship rounds are if you watch boxing, right? It's the last the last 3 rounds of the fight, and it's usually where the champion is determined. Who's gonna win this thing is determined in the last second. And so Kevin and I, we put you through a gauntlet of 3 questions, 3 rounds, and we're gonna give you 2 options. Each one of us will give you an option. You have to select which one most applies to you. You can't change it or manipulate it, but you can't ask any questions. And as you give us these answers, one of us will get a point. The first host to get 2 points, or the best out of 3, will win this game of championship rounds. And I know you smiling, Garrick, but in a second you're gonna see one of us pouting and having a little chip on our shoulder because we take this very serious.
Kev's gonna have to go for the knockout here in a minute, man.
He need it.
Yeah, that's the only way he coming out of this thing.
Well, hold up, Garrick. Just remember who traded you on Madden in 2005.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just remember that.
That was when I was young.
Boy, that was the biggest mistake you ever made in your life. I don't know if you can lay it up and down, Doc.
Hey, I know, right? Then I got you on the show.
Man, 15 years later. You didn't do your due diligence, man, so I get it. I understand it.
So fans out there, if you're keeping up with the score, I am the defending champion, and I am in the lead right now, 23 games to 21. So Kev needs this more than ever, or this thing might get ugly. You know what I mean? He might end up being.
Let's get it, baby.
I got you, man.
So round 1, Garrick Jones, championship rounds. Would you rather go back to your senior year of high school, knowing what you know now, and do this all over again, or
keep moving forward with these current visions and create a legacy for your family?
Keep moving forward. Because if I would have known then what I know now, I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So I would have abused my power. So no, we need to keep going right now. I can leave a legacy, but I might not be in this position I'm in today.
Kevin, that was a layoff for you, sir. I'm gonna give you that.
That was a lob.
That was a DeAndre.
Let's see how round. Hey, I'm not gonna get too up. Let's see how round 2 goes.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Would you rather have a lifetime contract with the NFL to make rules and improvements for players, or
become an NFL GM for the team of your choice?
Oh, I'm going with Kev, man. I need to make them rules, man. I need to make the rules, baby. That's just what it is.
Rudy Jones, when you trade this man, you see what happens, right? It comes back to bite you.
Oh man,
15 years later.
We make logical decisions over here, Doc.
Hey, I love it. All right, Kev, let's. I gotta avoid the sweep now, though. Everybody, we gotta avoid the sweep. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, round 3. Would you rather be a part of the Patriots way, and play for Bill Belichick between the years of 2002 and 2018, or
be on the vaulted Dallas Cowboy offensive line that went on to win 3 Super Bowls in a 4-year span?
I'm going B. Jones with this one.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can parlay them Super Bowl rings. It's a reason. It's a reason why the Cowboys bring in the most revenue every year.
Now, see, Garrick, I would have took that question, but that'd have been too obvious. Me being a Cowboy fan,
I get it. I trust me, I understand it. But no, the Cowboys do what they do, so that's.
You won anyway, Kevin. I'm still a little sick to my stomach. Congratulations,
you know
Rudy.
what? B. Jones.
Rudy.
Be humble, man.
Now, you know what?
Let me ask you this.
He's been giving me so many tidbits. I won anyway, man.
Oh, no, whatever. But were you humble in that trade in 2005? I'm not living that down.
Oh, you bringing up old stuff.
I'm running away with that. You damn right.
Garrett, we're going to get you off in a second. We promised you 30 minutes. We're a little bit over that. But
it's all good, man.
So what does the immediate future hold for you? I know you got a lot going on. What does the immediate future hold for you?
Man, I'm just playing chess right now. I'm setting up a lot of different moves for the athletes. You know, we have AO Sports, which is athlete-owned content, you know, be it these types of shows right here, reality shows, documentaries, docuseries, training shows, or whatever the situation may be. You know, with AO, all the athletes and the people they deal with can come over here and have access to the streaming platform, you know, where they'll be able to get the lion's share of the money, you know, and bringing in all of their fans and so on and so forth. And they have more of a voice. You get to have creative control. You know, it's all about ownership, you know. So AO is that deal. And I'm going to talk to y'all about that too. AO is that deal. You know, we have Chip In, you know, where we're hitting it from the philanthropic side, making sure that we're taking care of these communities that took care of us, you know, and we're putting that together really tough with my man, Gerald Smiley. We have the Fancentric movement, of course, you know, where we're going to really try to change the landscape of some of these professional sports organizations and leagues and so on and so forth with these fans. And of course, the Athlon situation, you know, is really good because it's opening up a lot of doors. I mean, I tell people all the time I'm a 3-headed monster for the simple fact that you can put me in a boardroom and with these billionaires and I'm a win. You know, you can take me and put me on the block. I'm from now, you know, you can put me on
absolutely.
You can put me on their football field and they paid me for that. So, you know, you got to know who you're dealing with when it comes down to me. So you got that situation. We have no cap in athletes first management, you know, where we're you know, teaching these younger athletes, you know, about the whole name, images, and likenesses situation, trying to get them built up so they understand branding, you know, and then of course my developmental league, you know, where we're bringing it all together. So I'm just setting it all up, man, to where everybody, you know, from puppies to pros, we get them to a point to where they start out in one space. We want to take them to an ultra high net worth space and then eventually have their own family office space and create this generational wealth with knowledge and wealth. So we're playing some chess right now. We got a lot of big things that are about to happen. We're about to release some tokens and a few other little things. We have the UFF Sports situation, which is fantasy football, you know, and then we got the NFTs intertwined with the fantasy football. So all the former players and current players can play against each other, you know, through simulation and also through esports.
That's fire.
Yes. So we got some stuff going on in Vegas in July. That's going to be huge. So we got that. And of course, you know, just us meshing everything together. It's not like one section over here is brake pads and mufflers, and then you got aprons and squeegees over here. It's like it's all sports related. So we got some stuff on the table, man.
Man, we're gonna have to do just a special on that fantasy football, brother. I am all.
Yo, I'm gonna send y'all all the info on it, man. You guys love it, man. You guys love it.
I love it.
It's gonna be a good deal, man. It's gonna be a good deal.
So where can our fans find you on social media?
Man, I just tell them to search. Like, just do a Google search on me, man, because I got so much stuff going on right now. I just tell them to do a Google search or whatever search engine that they prefer. You know, my name. You know, I'm really on LinkedIn. You know, they want to come and do some business and some networking and those types of things like that. Of course, I'm on IG, officially Garrick Jones, Twitter, Commissioner GJ, that type of stuff. So they'll be able to find me, man. I'm not hard to find, man.
Nah, you ain't hard to find either.
Nah, I already, right.
Any shout outs?
Man, you guys, man, for giving me the opportunity to be on this platform with you brothers, man. I love what you're doing. I love the direction that you're headed. And it takes a lot to put something together, you know, when other people are just a lot of times just sitting around watching. Y'all stepping out on faith, man, and making it happen. So it's going to be some bigger rewards for you for this. So I appreciate you guys, man.
And we appreciate you.
Close the show up. I'm about to get emotional on national television because Garrick Jones set up there and passed it over to us and blessed us with this manifestations right here.
Oh, yeah. No, that's all we do around here, man. We don't do nothing but manifest. Listen, the first three letters of Cain is C-A-N. So that's all I know how to do.
Hey, man, well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm about to end this show, then I'm going to gas up and I'm going to be at your house in a couple of hours. We can talk about some more stuff. Hey, Garrick Jones. The future is bright, my friend, and you got next. SLT Nation, we are rocking behind you every step of the way. And as a matter of fact, whatever we can do to be a part of it, man, sign us up. I just want to touch the hem of the garment at this stage in the game. And we appreciate you being on. Thank all of y'all out there for rocking with us and checking us out and showing us some support. Kevin and I, we do go live Wednesday nights at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. We stream at SportsLifeTalk. It's a great show. We have fun. It's off the collar. It's a wild ride. It's raucous. I mean, we just, like I said, we're going to keep giving y'all more and more content. And remember, You Got Nexts are dropping every Thursday and Sunday. And we told y'all big shows and big people were coming. And I didn't mean size. I mean force multipliers like Garrick Jones. We got these people coming up and these stories are going to be phenomenal, just like this one was. Hey, Kev, you got anything you want to close out with, Rudy?
Nah, shoot, I want to get this show over with as quick as possible. Good grief.
Well, congratulations on your win, man.
Yeah, hey, on the real, man, this is one of the top 5 shows.
There you go. There you go.
Easy, man. So we really appreciate you coming through and just dropping gems, man. I can't wait to go back and edit this show.
Hey, I'm going to watch it 10 times back to back, man. Yo, listen, y'all stay safe, be blessed. Y'all take care of one another. We love y'all, and we will see y'all again next time on Sports Life Talks. You Got Next. Yeet.